Hello everybody and welcome back to another TPR Informer video, and thanks for tuning in after 22 days of no videos on the channel, which is the longest I've gone without posting. I was taking a little break from the large amount of videos throughout the Halloween season that I was covering on, as well as the return to school from digital learning. I had a little bit more work than I did at home. Now I'm back and I'm happy to bring you guys another episode of TPR Informer Rankings. And today I am ranking all the Universal Studios Roblox rides and attractions, which is a very highly requested ranking to do. So basically today, if you have not ridden or been to these attractions and you plan to or want to, this is your warning, as I will be showing video of these rides, as well as going in depth into the story and the theming and all of that type of stuff. So this is your warning. So to jump right into it, the rides/attractions that we will be talking about today are the Walking Dead attraction, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, Fast and Furious Supercharged, the Incredible Hulk Coaster, Dr. Doom Spearfall, Back to the Future The Ride, Universal's Cinematic Spectacular, Jurassic Park River Adventure, Parachute Capers, Cavern Explorer, Revenge of the Mummy, and Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So how I will be ranking these rides, I will basically give you guys what the ride is at what number. Then I will talk a little bit about my opinions on the theming, the story, the ride development, how the ride experience is, and all that type of stuff. And then at the end, I will give you guys my score of that particular ride/attraction out of 10. So to jump right into it, at number 12, we have Parachute Capers. Now, Parachute Capers, if you guys do not know, is located in the Camp Jurassic section of the Discovery Center in Jurassic Park. It's a very simple flat ride, as it just, you get on, it goes up and down, and it's pretty much over in the span of 15 to 20 seconds. Usually with these rides, the view is what makes it. The view is only okay. The only cool thing about it is that if you ride it at the right particular time from where you're sitting at, you may be able to see the Cavern Explorer, which is right next to it, which makes for a cool experience, but it's not too amazing even when that happens. Doesn't go too fast going up and down, so there's not much of a thrill factor. And overall, it's just a very forgettable ride. It's very overlooked, and you can definitely skip on this one if you're visiting Universal Studios Roblox. So overall, I would give Parachute Capers a 2.5 out of 10. Now moving on to number 11 is the Cavern Explorer, also located in the Camp Jurassic section of the Discovery Center in Jurassic Park. Now Cavern Explorer, it is a fun coaster. I do enjoy it. The one thing that I particularly enjoy is the launch feature and the backwards feature on the ride, which is not seen at, I believe, any other ride at Universal Studios Roblox. The views are very nice, but they're not extravagant, not amazing. But it is especially nice views, as well as the ride experience itself is especially better in the back row of the ride, where I personally think it's meant to be rode. It enhances your experience, you get a little bit of a longer ride, and overall, it's really, really nice if you're sitting in the back. Not much theming though, not much of a story. It's a very slow ride, but very smooth, and is kind of forgettable. And it's definitely not a must-do coaster, but if you want to check out that launch feature and whatnot, I would definitely check it out. But definitely, you can skip on this one if you want to when you're visiting Universal Studios Roblox. Overall, I'd give the Cavern Explorer a 4 out of 10. So moving on to number 10. At number 10, I have Back to the Future The Ride. And it is definitely a close tie with number 11, Cavern Explorer, but I would give it just that slight edge as it has that Back to the Future theming to it. The beginning sequence, as most of these rides at Universal Studios Roblox, are amazing. Especially on this one, I love it. The story setup, the references, the theming, and the suspense and the mystery is perfect when you see the Twin Pines sign, Twin Pines Mall sign, Doc Brown talking over with the black. It's mostly a black set piece pulling up through it with the coaster, and that really gives it that really mysterious vibe to it and that suspenseful vibe. Especially the launch sequence I love, with the theming around it of the road, and then when you're going through that blue portal of light, that is also really, really cool. That's pretty much for the good things in. because I used to be a defender of this ride, but the ride itself really is lacking. Town Hall set piece is cool. The ride is definitely outdated with the graphics. The quality with some of the graphics that are all around it is really bad in my opinion. And the style of the coaster is also not too good. The ride's over fairly quickly. You can definitely, the show building is very small, and it is definitely not as good as the real-life Back to the Future ride that used to exist at Universal Studios Florida. So overall, I'd give Back to the Future the ride a 4.3 out of 10. I would definitely still check it out if you're a Back to the Future fan, and I would say it is still one that you should do, but not a must-do at Universal Studios Roblox. So coming in at number 9 is Dr. Doom's Fearfall. This is not too crazy of a ride. There are 2 of these in the same location. It's a flat ride. Basically, it goes up and down, you know. They just had an update back in May, which improved the ride by, I would say, 10 times better than it was before. There are the flashing red lights at the beginning, and the opening sequence with Dr. Doom's voice is very cool. But the one thing that makes this ride is the view. The view that you get from the park is amazing. It is the main reason why I believe everybody should ride this ride. And having so many different viewpoints that you can get of the park definitely gives it a boost for that re-rideability factor. And especially you can visit it throughout the day, get a different view with the lighting at night and in the daytime. Really cool. And it goes much faster than the launch on the parachute capers. Though it is very short, and honestly, for this ride, some people may not really enjoy their experience, as it takes a longer time to wait in line with no people and walk to the ride itself than the actual ride itself is to ride the whole thing. So it may seem unnecessary to ride with how short it is, but it's definitely worth it with the view, and it's definitely, again, not a must-do, but it's one that I think everybody should do at the park. And overall, I would give Dr. Doom's Fearfall a 5.5 out of 10. So now moving on to number 8 is a sort of a controversial pick, but I have at number 8 Fast and Furious Supercharged. Now the pluses, I will definitely give Fast and Furious Supercharged because I do not hate this ride. My experience and my love for this ride actually went up since its opening. Theming is great in this ride, especially the setup in the queue, and the line itself is great. They definitely give you that Fast and Furious vibe. The theming inside the ride is also pretty okay. I mean, got a lot of set pieces where you have the sign that you go through, as well as you have the helicopter with the explosion. That's awesome. But my main issue with it, the story itself is lacking, kind of disjointed a little bit when compared, and especially when compared with its theming. It's not very consistent. The theming itself is okay. I wish you would see a little more with a Fast and Furious attraction, but with a ride called Fast and Furious Supercharged, it definitely needs to be a little more fast than it is being a Fast and Furious ride. It seems to more glide smoothly than race throughout the ride, which should be what is expected. To me, it's too short. There's not that much thrill, especially at the end, in the end sequence, and a little bit throughout the ride. It ends a little abruptly. And then the music, though I believe it's from the movies, is more soothing to me and more just sort of like chilling, and it's very chill music than it is intense music to drive through like in a Fast and Furious movie. For me, the experience is definitely enhanced from riding in the back of the ride vehicle. It makes it seem a little faster, and it overall, to me, it's definitely the right way to ride it, as is with Cavern Explorer. But overall, it's very similar to Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. So it almost exactly really in the layout of the ride, as well as the opening queue segment where you're walking into the garage. But I definitely think they gave it a Fast and Furious vibe, which I did like about it. But if you want to ride, if you compare this with the Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith over at Wet Imagineering, I would definitely choose that one over Fast and Furious Supercharged. And overall, I would give Fast and Furious Supercharged a 6 out of 10. Not terrible, but I would definitely say if you're a Fast and Furious fan or a Universal Studios fan, I would definitely check this one out. So now, coming in at number 7 is the Incredible Hulk Coaster. Incredible Hulk Coaster is a classic staple of Universal Studios Roblox and has been around since opening day. where I believe it was a Battlestar Galactica themed ride. But I love this ride. Classic Universal. Launch feature is very cool. The lighting effects are awesome. Especially, I love the queue sequence where you're waiting at the beginning. Lighting and the theming, I really like it. And it's very accurate to the real life ride. Seems to go a little bit faster than Fast and Furious, which I also really like that. The views are beautiful and very spectacular. Even though you're zooming by really quickly, you can still see a lot of the park. And it is a fairly long ride. The music choice is good and better than Fast and Furious Supercharged, I think. The ride vehicles are awesome, especially when you're walking in. I love the Hulk statue. Though it is an outdoor coaster, so again, you can't expect that much story and theming. But I don't think anybody's really expecting that when riding this ride. I think they're just looking for a good experience, to compare maybe with their real life experience and to get that classic Universal feel. So overall, I would give the Incredible Hulk coaster a solid score of 6.3 out of 10. So now, that is the end to part 1 of my rankings. I did want to split this up as I do have a lot of thoughts on all these rides. So part 2 will be coming out this Tuesday, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to check out my Twitter or the community Discord for TPR Informer, that will be linked below, as well as our Roblox group for TPR Informer. Also, if you would like to check out any of the TPR Informer merchandise for your Roblox avatar, that also will all be linked down below. So without further ado, give me your guys' number 12 to number 7 ranking of your bottom tier Universal rides, and tell me your thoughts a little bit about why you ranked each ride at where you did. So with all that said, thank you all for watching and have an amazing day.